Okay, so I'm going to be explaining how to answer these homework questions. I did give you an example here, and you kind of have to follow the example to understand how to answer these questions. Because if you look at this question, so question number one, it's very similar to this part of the screenshots that I put in your homework. So it's very similar to solving it in this same way. The only difference is you're dealing with an x. Well, you're dealing with there's no difference, to be honest. It's the exact same thing. Here you have x minus 1 squared. So you need to always solve these parabola equations by looking at the form. So it's x minus 1 squared, and then you basically have 8 times y minus 2. So the form that you're going to be using of the parabola is given here. If you scroll up again, the form is actually given to you here, and all the formulas you need to be able to find the vertex, the focus, the directrix, and the axis of symmetry. So let's go into the first question. So the first question is x minus, I'm going to write question number 1. So it's x minus 3 squared. This is the equation. And then you have equal to 12 times y minus 7. Now you just have to look for which parabolic equation or form does this is this similar to, and it's definitely this one here. So it's x minus 1, x minus h squared equal to 4p times y minus k. So I'm going to write it here, x minus h squared, and that is equal to 4p times y minus k. So this is the parabolic form that this suits very well to. The one that I give you here as for the vertical axis, which means it's either going to be pointing up or down depending on the value of p, or a, if it's greater than 0, points up, if it's less, it points down. So that's how you got your maximum and minimum local points. So based on this parabola form, you're going to now be solving to find h. And so how would you find h? What I did say, one strategy is just combine what you have here in the positions together, including the signs. So you basically have minus 3 minus h. The minus and the minus combine together to give you a plus. So that means that your h is positive 3. So to find the vertex, let's write that first. The vertex formula is basically h comma k. I'm going to write that on a separate side of the screen. So the vertex formula is h comma k. So vertex is equals to h comma k. And if you look over here, you can see minus 3 and minus h is positive. So that means vertex is equal to 3. And then your k also is around here. So combine these two together, including the sign. So minus 7 minus k, that's positive 7. So you just got the vertex. So that's how you find the vertex. Now go back again and look at the formula to find the focus. The focus is h comma k plus p. So focus, let's write that down, is equal to h, so this is in parentheses, comma k plus p, right? So what is h? H we already saw it's positive, so I'm just going to write it as f. So h is positive 3. And then what is your k? K is 7. Now, how do we find p? Again, just combine the positions. So that's why I said the easiest thing to do to solve parabolic equations is just write the form under the equation, the form that the equation goes with, and just combine the positions together. So here we see that 4p is equals to 12. And so if we wanted to find p, that means we divide both sides by 4, making p the subject of the formula. So we can see that p is going to be equal to 3. Obviously, 4 divided by 4 is 1. 12 divided by 4 is 3. So p is going to be equal to 3. Okay? So this is like the final solution for p. So here we have k plus p. That means 7 plus 3. And this means that f is going to be equal to 3 comma 10. So this is your focus. F, which is the focus, is equal to 3 comma 10. Now, once that is done, we're going to go and look for, because according to the question, it does ask you to be able to find the vertex, focus, the axis of symmetry, and the directrix. So the directrix is y equals to k minus p. So I'm going to write it down here. Directrix is basically equal to, so the directrix, I'm going to have to rewrite this and probably move this to the other side. So remember how we got the p. We got the p by just saying 4p is equals to 12. So 4p equals to 12, and we divided both sides by 4, and so we got p is equal to 3. Okay, so that's just a reminder of how you always have to get your p. Just align it to the parabola form. Now we're looking at the directrix. So the directrix, it says y, I'm going to use an arrow here, y is equal to, and according to this formula is k minus p. So we're going according to the formula with the form of the parabola that we're using. And what is our k? We already know the k is 7. So y is equals to 7, and our p we already know is 3, so 7 minus 3. So that means y is equals to 4. So this is your directrix right here. Now, finally, if you wanted to find the axis of symmetry, x is equal to h, so that's pretty straightforward. So the axis of symmetry, so I'm going to write it over here, is basically x is equal to h, so x equal h, and we already know h is 3, so that means x equals to 3. And that's it. You are not required to graph this equation. You're only required to just find the vertex, focus, axis of symmetry, and directrix. So you're going to approach the same formula, the same methods for the other questions, which is question 2 and question 3. You just have to look for the right parabolic form from the screenshots I've provided you with and apply that form along with the other formulas to find what you need to find. So I hope this video was useful.